Hey everybody, she's back. It's Susie Q96, and they brought me home from the hospital yesterday at about, I think I got home about 6:30 last night. It was a wild ride. Monday I started getting really sick, and I I'm gonna say it was about 4:30 Monday or Tuesday morning. I finally ended up calling an ambulance, and they took me to the local hospital. And I was there for most of Tuesday while they figured out that I had, well, what they thought I had was gastro. Oh, what the heck do they call it? I'll have to get my papers out here because it's a big word. And I'm a blonde. I don't do big words. Yeah, I do. I'm just being a smart ass. Gastroid something something. Anyway, I was a sick puppy. We'll just put it that way. Dawn! Oh, there's my girl. Hi, honey. Oh, there's my Dawn. Well, I actually had two things. Um, but one of them was a gallstone, and that was the big issue. And of course, then I had an infection in there, and it was really bad. They had me scheduled for surgery, and it was not good. Uh, so anyway, gastroenteritis. Well, I don't know why I can't remember that word. Gastroenteritis. So I had gastroenteritis, and then they saw something on my test that indicated I had a gallstone. So we don't have a gastroenterologist here where I live. So they stuck my little butt in the ambulance and hauled me halfway across the state up to Salem, where they started poking and prodding and testing and molesting and all that mess. And so they had scheduled me to have a procedure on Thursday, but then yeah, I'm home. Hi, David. Uh, so anyway, on Thursday morning, they came in and told me that my procedure had been canceled. And I'm like, "Ugh," and that the doctor was going to come in and talk to me. So the doctor came in and told me that the all my liver enzymes were normal and they could no longer see any sign of the gallstone. So it either had dissolved or passed on its own. And oh, your dad in the hospital again, hon? So anyway, I passed the stone and all my enzymes were normal. So they decided they weren't going to mess with taking out my gallbladder right now. They would rather wait until after I get the Watchman uh, placed in my heart that was going to regulate the AFib. That way there'd be less chance of any heart issues. But they said right now there's no need to take out the gallbladder. But oh my gosh, was I a sick puppy. I'm sorry, Dawn. I hope he's okay. Oh, Mr. Mac. No, you can't get sick. So anyway, I'm gonna try to do a show on Monday, but for the weekend, I'm just right now. M3 and I are just cuddled up here on Dawn's bed, uh, in my living room, and just taking it real easy. I'm having a little bit of problem trying to find somebody to run to the store for me, but I have enough things I can get by if I don't get somebody. But anyway, I just want to let everybody know I was home and what had happened, why I just suddenly blipped off the map. And by the way, um, today is my brother's birthday. So I want to do a shout out. Happy birthday, Brother Dan. Some of you guys know him. He comes in the channel periodically. Dawn has met him personally. Oh, I'm so sorry, Dawn. I hope they figure it out. I know you wish you were up here where he is. But anyway, today's my brother's birthday, so happy birthday, Brother Dan. And like I said, he does come in the channel once in a while, so we'll do that. And no, I'm not going to stay on here too long because, as everybody that's ever been in a hospital knows, you get no sleep while you are there. And you can tell I'm a little gravelly. They've been, I am beat up bad. I am bruised. My arms are bruised top to bottom. I'm just really exhausted. But I just want to let everybody know I was back. And also, um, those of you who are entered in the how many pennies are in the container contest, I did finish rolling all of them up, so I know the answer now. And we will be doing that giveaway Monday night on the Lodo Show. Wednesday night, we will do the Susie Comes Back on Camera uh, deal because I had told y'all if somebody sent a hat or a shirt or any of their merchandise, I would wear it on camera for everybody to see. And I did receive some wearing apparel from a channel. So, and it's a metal detecting channel. So we'll be doing that on Wednesday night. We'll also be doing on the Monday night show. Do I want to do that on Monday or Wednesday? Yeah, we'll do on the Wednesday night show. We will do the Patreon sponsor uh, gift away, which is silver. So I got some stuff going on, but I'm just going to rest for the rest of the weekend. Or rest for the rest. Blah, 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 blah. So I actually feel pretty good, David. I'm just really tired because, like I said, you don't get much sleep in the hospital. And while I was there, they took me off some of my meds. And I have so many weird diseases that when you mess with one, you take out one medicine or something, it kind of messes with the other stuff going on. So I'm back on all my meds now, and I'm just napping. There's my Deej. Oh, and I do want to thank Miss Deej. I was just getting to her, so I'm glad she's here. The whole time I've been in the hospital, Deej has kept people informed about what happened, why I couldn't come on my show and everything. So thank you, Miss Deej. I love you, girl. So yeah, me and M3, we're just cuddled up here on the couch, and we'll be back on Monday when after we get some sleep. I feel pretty good. I'm so happy I didn't have to have any surgery, and that this thing just passed itself on its own. The doctor was pretty pleased too because of where it was located. which is in the bile duct between the gallbladder and the pancreas. And so he said usually they have to surgically remove those when they get in there. So he was pretty amazed considering my age and my all my weird health conditions. He's as he said it, you're an odd lot. So the odd lot has once again kicked in. There's my Mr. Mark. Ah, yeah, and I want everybody to pray for Miss Dawn's daddy. He's up here by me, and she can't get up here right now. So, yeah, they don't know what he's having some problems, and they don't know what's wrong with him. So, just a lot of stuff happening right now. So, anyway, I'm doing pretty good. Like I said, I'm just worn out. Robert, hi. Yeah, I kind of am, Robert, like a cat with 10 lives. I have pushed the max in the past couple of years here. And I'm going to tell you, when they were checking me out last night at the hospital, the nurse was putting me in the wheelchair to take me down to transport, and she said, "Well, you could go home now and uh, pick up with your regularly scheduled wife." And I said, "Oh, does that mean I can go metal detecting tomorrow?" And she looked at me like I had lost my mind. And I said, "I'm just kidding, honey. I'm not going out tomorrow." But um, yeah, I dodged the bullet. Uh, if you don't know who Robert is like my favorite beach metal detecting star. He has inspired me on countless occasions watching his stuff to get up off my butt and get out there and do something, because he has some health issues too, and I have that same, I don't care, I'm going, I gotta go dig. Thank you, Robert. I feel pretty good. Actually, I feel really good. I'm just really tired. They poked and prodded and twisted and turned. And yep, the casino slot king, Robert Ferguson. There you go. I love watching Robert go to the casino. And some of the people that watch him don't like the casino part, but I do. I think it's great. And I really appreciate you popping in, Robert. I hadn't seen you for a while. I know you've been having some issues with your legs, and that really stinks because it's really hard to go detecting when your legs don't want to work right. I've been in that boat. But anyway, I'll be back on Monday night. I'm gonna do my show. I feel fine. Yeah, I will be better when I get to Michigan, because every time I have to go for a medical appointment here, it's almost 2 hours each way. We don't have, where I'm stuck right now, we don't have the medical care that I need. And so it's very stressful. And in Michigan, I never had these issues. I could just hop on the transit or hop in my little car and run to any kind of doctor that I ever needed. The furthest I ever had to go for any kind of specialist was Detroit, and that was only because my insurance would not pay unless I went over there. But yeah, it was much less stressful when I lived in Michigan. Yeah, U of M, I've been there many times, and they have, for this thing I got going on right now, this IgG4 in my eye socket. Um, they are one of the three places in the whole country that specializes in IgG4 in the eye and brain. So, yeah, that's where I need to be is U of M, and I'm get I'm within 3 months now of getting up there. So this having this gallbladder thing jump in here right in the middle of it was really scary because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to have gallbladder surgery and then I'm gonna have to recover from that. And then I've got the Watchman heart implant thing that's supposed to happen in May, and it's like a very quick recovery surgery, but they weren't going to be able to do it if I was still recovering from gallbladder. So yeah, that gallbladder scare. I've never had gallbladder issues before, so that was a whole new deal. Yes, U of M, very very highly regarded medical facilities. Although I will tell you honestly, I wasn't too crazy about their dental care. I had to use it, and I had little experience with their some of their dental care, but I just don't like dental care. I guess I probably would have had the same experience anywhere because I just hate dentists. But yeah, I know a number of people who have been treated for some very rare and very serious diseases at U of M and survived because the care was so good. Jackson had his appointment and aorta blockage not any worse. That's good. At least if it is not any worse, that's a good thing. So that's awesome. So anyway, that's why I just vanished off the planet. And here's the thing, I figured out after a couple of days at the hospital when I logged in to their Wi-Fi, um, their Wi-Fi filters a lot of things at the hospital, and it also won't let you post on a lot of sites. They have certain social media sites basically censored. He got an okay to go on his vacation. Oh, that's awesome, Deej. That's awesome. So anyway, I'm in the hospital and I'm trying to make a post so I can let everybody know why I wasn't going to be able to do my Wednesday show. And it wouldn't let me access the community tab on my YouTube channel. It wouldn't let me post on Facebook. I mean, it had a whole bunch of things blocked. And I'm like, what the heck? So I sent a text message over to Deej and asked her to post on her channel, you know, that I wasn't able to do my show and that I'd been taken to the hospital. And Deej covered my butt again. Thank you, Deej. Thank you, Deej. I love you, Deej. Can't wait to get to Michigan so we can go dig some holes. Uh, so anyway, after I did that, I thought, well, maybe it's because it kept saying I was restricted on YouTube. And I'm like, why? And it occurred to me, it's the hospital. So I turned off their Wi Fi and went to my regular data plan, just turned off the Wi Fi. And then it would let me post. So if that ever happens to you, where you are in a facility like a hospital or something and you cannot post on your YouTube. Oh, and it wouldn't let me StreamYard. That was the other thing. So if that ever happens to you, turn off their Wi Fi and use the data that comes with whatever your phone plan is. And then it will allow you, then you can get into your stuff. But it never occurred to me that it was the hospital would block me from my own YouTube channel. Oh my goodness. So we got that. Oh wow, yeah, that's a good trip, Deej. You'll like Gettysburg. That you'll have an awesome time there, but they won't let you detect. No detecting. Although my one of my Miss Maniac, hi. Yeah, they caught a guy up there at Gettysburg. This is a funny detecting story. I'm gonna say it was 4 or 5 years ago. He had a cane that had a pinpointer in it, and he was like walking around with this cane trying to detect certain parts of the place. And he had like this detector on vibrate in it. But somebody saw him kneel down on the ground and was digging with his hand, and one of the people caught him with it. I mean, that's pretty desperate. Oh, did you go out with Marlon? Awesome. What'd you guys find? What'd you find? I want to know. I want to know. Uh, the day that I started getting sick, the weather was so nice, and I wanted to go out so bad. And I told my brother, I said, I just don't feel well, because he called and he was surprised that I wasn't out. And I said, well, I said, the weather's perfect, but I'm not. So, but yeah, I'm feeling good now. I think that stone has been aggravating me for a while, and I just didn't realize what it was because I never had any gallbladder issues before. Oh, I am so sorry. I did not greet After Service Adventures. Another Canadian. I have lots of Canadians. I like my Canadian friends. Awesomes. Canadian people are so nice. We have some really rude folks in America, and I don't think I've ever met a really rude Canadian person in my whole life. Back in the 60s, I had friends from Canada that used to come down to Florida in the winter, and we hung out. We had the best time. I found some pictures of some of them the other day. Yeah, that's a really cool collab. You're right, Deej. But Lisa Corley, oh my God, y'all. Lisa Corley, I have known since I was in about ninth grade. She's one of my Florida school and hanging out at the teen center buddies. And her husband, who is now passed, Bobby, he was an awesome musician. And what's funny about her husband, Bobby, I knew Bobby from rock and roll. My sister knew Bobby from drum and bugle corps. My sister didn't know I knew Bobby for years. Did not know that Bobby was a friend of mine. And yeah, I've known Lisa for a long time. Lisa, I am feeling so much better. I am. This is the best I have felt in a long time. I mean, other than being tired, from being in the hospital and everything. Like I said, I think that stone has been there for a while, and because I've been complaining of not feeling right, and yeah, once that stone passed, well, they kept talking about nausea and vomiting, and I said, I threw up once. And it reminded me of a guy that I don't know. Lisa might know him. Guy I went to high school with named Doug Code used to always tell me, "Throw up, you'll feel better." And and I'm like one of those people. I just don't do that. Well, the other night when the ambulance came, I did, and as soon as I threw up, I felt better, and I had Doug in the back of my head going, "Gosh, he was right." You know? But yeah, I haven't felt this good in a long time, and I'm wondering how long that rascal been floating around in there. And I've been trying to get in to see a gastroenterologist for months. My appointment is May 8th. So the problem has kind of solved itself before I get to the gastro. But uh, one of the things when I first started having gastro issues, I had to have major, major surgeries. I had my whole large intestine removed. And I was in the hospital off and on for 6 months that year. Well, after the first couple weeks, people kind of get tired of going to visit and calling and stuff. And then, it gets to where there's like just nobody calls for days or days. And you're just kind of in there, doing whatever the doctors and nurses want. And I was getting that way where I was starting to feel a little abandoned because my mom couldn't really come to see me, and my brother because of they didn't want to get sick. And I'm laying there in the bed, and my phone started ringing, and I answered it, and it was Lisa's husband, Bobby, called, and he talked to me for I'm going to say an hour and a half, and it just changed my whole attitude because I was feeling pretty abandoned at the time. And it happens after people come to visit you 2 or 3 times. They go back to the regularly scheduled life, and that's just how it works. And so Bobby called me, and we were talking about all kinds of crap that happened when we were 16-year-old kids. Yeah. But that phone call had a lot to do with my recovery. So, uh, yeah, the Corleys are special to me. Grabbing me a swallow of water. So anyway, uh, I'm just laying here on the couch. My little kitty man, he threw a little fit at me last night. I think he was mad because I'd been gone. My home health aide had been coming over and feeding him. Well, he had a little tantrum and he nipped my hand. So I got in a little bit of trouble and got locked out of the bedroom. Yeah, you did, Emmon. Yeah, you did. Admit it. You done a bad. But today he's been wherever I am, he is. So Dr. M3 on duty. Huh. Yeah, Dr. Emmon, he on duty. So he's been taking good care of me, and I'm just eating very light and resting, and I should be good to go. Um, like I said, I feel better than I have felt in a while, other than just being weak. I'm tired, but I'm good. So that's where we're at, and gosh, I appreciate all you people stopping in, checking up on me. I'm going to go back to bed, get a little bit more rest. Uh, Please keep Dawn's dad in your prayers. Say a happy birthday to my brother Dan. Oh yeah, M knows. He gets it. And hi, Ann, honey. I didn't see you sneak in. There's my Ann. Yeah, him was scared. But Miss Sandy came. Miss Sandy takes care of him sometimes when I'm uh even when I'm here, if I'm not feeling really good, she's my aide that comes and helps me with housework and laundry and stuff when I'm not too sporty. And yeah, I got my water here, and I just ate a little snack just a minute ago. Um, ooh, that sounds good, Deej. Oh, that sounds good. Tuna macaroni salad. Macaroni sounds good. I just have to, the main thing I got to do is avoid fats. So I can't do a lot of cheese or butter or anything like that, but I can still have the macaroni with some spices and stuff. I love macaroni. Oh, yeah, some of you got, yeah, Taco Bell. I wish. Ann and I had Taco Bell when she was here. She knows I love Taco Bell. So I can't have that right now. But yeah, my brother comes in here sometimes, and so some of you know who know my brother. He used to metal detect. In fact, I have his detecting equipment now, since he is no longer able to participate in it. He gave it to me right before COVID. I went down there. In fact, I left because of COVID. I went down to see my brother and do some detecting, and he gave me his stuff. So yeah, Em, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, you little tinker. Let me see if I can do this. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. See if I can catch him. Oh, it caught me. Ooh, you don't want to see me. I look ragged. I look raggedy. Oh, I don't know how to do this. I turned it on. Don't know how to turn it off. Who that? Who that? Let me in there, mommy. Let me in there. I'm gonna get him. I'll get him for you, mom. Okay, never mind. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Bye, everybody. Oh, I'm gonna flip that up. There we go. I think you got to see the little rascal. Yeah, you might have got a glance of me without my hair combed, but yeah, I'm working on it, Deej. I was actually, the day I got sick. Um, is was normally Tuesdays are normally a day that Sandy is here all day, but she has been having problems with her knee, so she had called me and said, "Hey, I'm not gonna. If you can get by, I'd like to just stay home and stay off my knee." So I thought, "Oh, goody, the weather's not gonna be nice. I'm gonna run down to the storage and start getting the boxes ready and sorting some things out, because I'm trying to get ready to go to Michigan." And of course, that didn't happen. So now I'm behind, but Bad Idea Lab, welcome. So I am definitely working. Oh, but we love Taco Bell, Don. I love Taco Bell. I really like real Mexican food, which is not Taco Bell. Having lived in Texas and having lived in Michigan, where there's a heavy Mexican population, and a lot of my friends up there are Mexican, I really like authentic Mexican food, but I'll eat Taco Bell. But not right now, I won't. Not with this mess going on. I do not want to go through what I went through in the last 4 days. So right now, I'm having a glass of water and some little white crackers. I, I found these crackers at Walmart. Well, actually, I first found them at Aldi, and then I found the same assortment at Walmart. They're like party crackers that you put all your fancy schmancy little things on when you have a party. And they have a couple different, there's 5 or 6 different varieties in the box. some of them have spices, and some of them are very, very plain. And mm, yeah, um, we'll have to go there, Deej. And then we're going to a friend of mine's when I get up there. You're going to get to meet a celebrity because we're going to take a metal detector out, and you and me and that guy are going to go metal detecting. And that is going to be a collab nobody's going to want to miss because it's going to be hysterically funny. And you know who I'm going to take you detecting with. He got a great big farm, never been detected. We're probably going to have every sniper coil known to modern man because we're going to dig up some mess out there. But there used to be a mud bogging out there. They've had concerts out there. Yay, Q. Yep, that would be the guy. Yeah. And he is so funny. I don't know if we'll even get any detecting done because we'll probably just be wetting our pants laughing. But yeah, he's awesome, and he's interested in doing it. Yeah, he was asking me about it. I'm gonna say a year ago. Who knows what we might find because the original house burned down, and there were things that were lost that they never got back. So a roadside taco stand open only on Friday nights. Oh yeah, when I lived outside of Houston, I lived in a little bitty town that was about 2.5 miles wide by 3 miles wide. And there was a lady that on the weekends sold, side of the road little stand thing. And we had a real small police department, and they would tell people, look, figure it out, folks, because you can't block all the streets going in and out of this town. We don't mind that the lady has her little thing, but y'all try to all not go at the same time. So, MJ Squirrel. Yeah, that made a big difference, Deej, for people, for businesses, if they were able to put up a drive up window. I know there was some places down in Florida that did that too. That was the only reason they survived was because they were able to make a drive up. And uh, I got a little aggravated during COVID because I felt like some of these communities should have been more cooperative with businesses and allowing them to put the drive it up windows in. They were being such sticklers about what their laws were that they couldn't understand that this was going to change everything forever, and you're going to have to adapt. And one of the best ways for restaurants to adapt was if they could have drive up. One thing I noticed, which was really kind of funny, was where I was in Georgia, because that's where I was living when COVID first started. Was there were a couple of old closed restaurants that had for whatever reason failed and had drive up windows, and those immediately got rented, and the restaurants that went in them were doing well. People said, "Hey, wait a minute, let me go rent that place and put my business in there," and it worked out for them, and they were thriving because we didn't really have a lot of places where I lived. We had a McDonald's, and on way out on the edge of town there was a Burger King, but and then there was this one that opened right about that time, and they had the best food ever. It was a combination of just random things. They had everything from a steak dinner, pork chop dinner, it's kind of like soul food, hamburger joint, taco stand. They just had all kinds of different things, and all the food was good. I don't want to get into the political side of it, MJ, because I lived in an area that was one of the hot points. And where I lived, it got spread because of church, because of a church. We didn't have the disease in our town at all until one guy went to a funeral in Albany, Georgia. 110 people at that funeral ended up with COVID, and they brought it into our town, into another church, and spread it all over. So I'm not going to get into the argument about that church thing, because they spread it all over our area, and we didn't have it until it got spread because of that one funeral. That one funeral killed a whole bunch of people, because it turned out the guy whose funeral it was one of the early cases of COVID, and all of his relatives had been exposed. And then they exposed people from our town who brought it back into our churches, and we had a real bad. Look up COVID in Albany, Georgia, and you will see. Right now, yes, I do live in a small mountain community, and I'm going to tell you, this community has the highest COVID rate in the state of Virginia. I'm not making that up. We do. And we also have the lowest vaccination rate. And I've been trying to get out of here for a while because I finally ended up getting COVID. I had managed somehow to avoid it, but I got it back in February. Yep, per capita, we have the highest COVID rate in the state. Our poor hospital, um, and the thing is, the people just don't. They're so they're still stuck on the COVID's not real. A lot of the people that live around here are not very well educated. They bought into it doesn't exist. And yeah, it's just bad. But I'm going to get off this COVID thing, other than the fact that I've had it, and uh, I had it right after I had the flu. So it was pretty bad, but it could have been a whole lot worse. But yeah, I live in the mountains. It'll get you anywhere. It doesn't matter. Germs don't care. We'll just put it that way. Yeah, I lost a lot of people, Deej. I lost two uncles and a great aunt, all in the same health facility in Iowa. Now, they had a lady there that decided it was more important for her to go to work than it was to protect the lives of the people that were in this facility. So I lost my Uncle Neil, lost my Uncle Virgil, lost my Aunt Gretchen. I lost some other cousins and friends, but the ones that bothered me the most were the ones that were all in this same health facility, and this gal didn't want to wait for the unemployment to kick in. So she just decided that she was going to go to work anyway. She knew she had it and took it to work in a facility full of old people and disabled people. And I think they said 12 people died in that facility, and three of them were related to me. And I was pissed. I was really mad. And I was told, but I don't know if it's true or not, that she was arrested because she went to work knowing she had the disease and passed it to other people. Who does that? You can't be that desperate for money that you're going to go expose all of these people. Yeah, it was terrible, and I understand that, DJ. I don't even have a full count of how many of my relatives died from it. And my friend Q lost his sister to it. My dancing partner, Mary Lou. So I do everything I can to avoid being around people with that disease. And I live in a building where people don't want to protect themselves, and they think I'm sick because I walk around with a mask and stuff, but I don't want to breathe their crap. And like tomorrow, I will be doing a COVID test because I just came back from a hospital where only half the people that came into my room were even wearing masks. And I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? You were around all these sick people. And I look at it two ways. I can get it from you, or you can catch something from me. I'd just rather be safe. I see. I don't know how I got the influenza A or COVID. It had to be from somebody here because I don't really go anywhere. I just don't. So anyway, I am home from the hospital. I only had to fire one nurse. I did. I threw a nurse out of my room. Oh my God. I did. I admit it. But here's what happened. I woke up first thing in the morning, and anyway, I woke up first thing in the morning. This nurse came in, and it was right around time for my medications. And most of the nurses were like real, very polite and kind. And this gal comes in, and I've got all these things sitting in the room. I mean, they had put me on NPO, and but there was a water bottle sitting there. What couple water bottles? They weren't open, and a Jello pack. None of these things were open, and they weren't really even in within my reach, but they were mine. Uh, she comes in and just starts throwing things away. You're not allowed to have this. Nah, 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 you know, and just starts throwing my stuff in the trash. And I'm like, whoa, 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 stop. Well, you can't have that. I don't care. None of them are open. Nobody's consuming them, but they're not yours. And she's like, well, you don't know. And I was just like the most negative, nasty yick at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Pardon me for cussing. But, uh, and then she starts, I said, well, look, the doctor knows they're here. The other nurses know they're here. They've been there for 2 days. They're not yours. Leave them alone. Well, the other nurses don't know what they're doing. And some of the doctors and blah blah, and she starts bad mouthing the nurses, bad mouthing the doctors, bad mouthing me, and I said, "Ma'am, you're gonna have to leave my room. Get out of my room." And she said, "Are you saying you want another nurse?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what I'm saying. Get out." And I threw the nurse out of the room because I have to go with what, my doctors and nurses, I'm kind of of a captive audience at that point. I can't really get up and just go find a new set. But if there's one in there that's going to badmouth what everybody else is doing, and wake me up at 7:30 in the morning with that negative Nancy garbage crap, no, you're not staying in my room. Get out. I was supposed to be having surgery that day, and the last thing I wanted to do was go in surgery after listening to this lady just badmouth the doctors, badmouth the nurses. They don't know this. They don't know that. You don't know this. You don't. Get out of here. So I threw her out, and they sent me the nicest nurse I had for the whole time I was in there. So I'm glad I threw her out. She was awful, and I didn't want to hear it. There's no call for that. I mean, I don't care if you're tired or whatever, but she hadn't been there more than an hour, and she was already being nasty. So I thought, well, nope, we're not keeping this one. She needs to go metal detecting or something. Find her a better attitudinal. So anyway, that's enough of this rambling. You can tell I'm glad to be back, and I shall. Uh, right now, I'm gonna go nap because I need it. I need me a napping. I need me a napping. I think I had that same damn nurse. Don't you hate it when you get one of those? You're sick as heck. You're trying so hard to be nice, and there is a point at which you have to draw the line because you're the one that knows what's going on in your body. Oh, don't you hate that, Dawn? Ugh. Yeah, that's another reason I will tell a nurse to stop. If they repeatedly are poking me and they can't get a vein, I'm not going to let them destroy another nurse's possibility of hitting that vein. No, I was in Salem, and at Lewis Gale in Salem. Uh, and like I said, 99% of the people that treated me there were fabulous. But there was the 1%, and that gal was the top of the 1%. And there was one that I just asked them to don't send her back in. She came in one time, and she was of that same attitude, that she was the boss, and nothing that anybody else said was right. But what really made me mad about the one that I threw out was the fact that she decided it was okay to throw my personal items in the trash. You don't do that. And I did file a complaint against her because that was just not acceptable. But everybody else was awesome. I had this one little gal. She was fabulous. She just made me laugh every time she came in the room. Her name was Tia, and God bless her, because they would have to come in and clean me up, and she made me laugh every time she came in. She was awesome, awesome, awesome gal. So, but yeah, there were a bunch of really good ones, and only that one really, really made me mad because, like I said, she didn't have any right to be throwing away my personal stuff. Whether she felt like it was okay for me to have that in my room or not, that was not her decision. The doctors had approved certain things because I have to have a certain schedule, and she just overstepped her bounds. And my brother said, well, maybe she'd worked a long shift and she was tired. I said, no, she came in at 7 when were doing the shift change. She hadn't even been there an hour yet. you know, it wasn't that. She may have had a problem before she got to work, but I wasn't it. All right, guys, I'm going to go get me another drink of water. I'm going to lie back down, get some rest. I will catch up with everybody later. Thank y'all so much for popping in, checking up on me. Y'all rock. Deej, thank you for letting everybody know where I disappeared to. Robert, if you're still in the room, thank you for popping in. Thank all of you for coming. I will be back on Monday. I will, Dawn, after I get some sleep. I got to get some more rest. MJ Squirrel, thank you. I love everybody. I'm so happy to be home. M3 has wandered off. I hope you got to see him on camera there for a second. Uh, I'm gonna go get me something, something, and we'll see you later. Thank you.